Here is the latest creation, birthed through me today. There's a lot of layers in this one, and I thought I would take a little bit of time to talk through it. So I did a time-lapse video, so that is also available to see kind of the behind the scenes of how it all came together. But what's important to note is it's a very layered grid. So a crystal grid, incredibly layered, starting off with this pure white background. And then there is this purple monstera background that the tag says peaceful people. And so I feel really connected to the frequency of peace coming through and bringing through a level of peace for the collective that this is in alignment with. I definitely feel like this is a collective layout, and when people come across it, they'll know if it's for them or not. This is a beautiful self-healed quartz, clear quartz in the center. It's a stunning piece. It's one of my newest finds. And on top of that is another layer, right? So this is working in layers. There is a green Andera crystal, which it looks like a heart to me. And that's kind of at one of the lower points on this crystal. And then there is this sovereignty Andera. It's this beautiful amethyst color Andera. Incredibly, I don't know, it just really resonates with me. So sovereignty is a theme lately, and that's the name of that, amethyst Andera. And then beyond that, at a higher level, is a blue calcite heart, which is also a Lemurian calcite heart. So there's a connection to Lemuria, the heart grid, the heart center, being a heart-centered civilization, having the ancient wisdom come through for that. This sovereignty piece, to me, when I started looking at some of the placements, it really was talking about freeing ourselves from these lower vibrational frequencies to rise up to these new vibrational frequencies that are available to us now. There's a lot of heart in this grid, heart healing. So if I stand up, I'm gonna kind of give you a tour of some of the other pieces and parts. So we have dragon energy over here. Dragon, this is an amethyst stone. I use it as a wand, and it connects me to the dragon energy. That dragon head is pink calcite, which is also a very peaceful, loving kind of stone and frequency. I have a rose quartz wand that's pointing to the Celestine, which is a high vibrational angelic frequency stone. And on the outside of it is my gold obsidian heart. And over by the dragon head is a moss agate heart. Then we have over here, I have my crystal quartz Vogel. It's pointing to the crystal quartz skull. And on the outside of that is a fluorite. It's a piece, but inside of that piece there is a heart in there, but it's like it's not quite broken free yet. So there's a lot of symbolism in that. Fluorite's very protective stone, and this particular one reminds me of the ocean with the beach coloring, waves and beach coloring, and then it's got this this cracks can show you that there is a heart in there. So it just looks like it's waiting to be kind of chiseled out, if you will, from where it is at. So like kind of locked up a little bit. And then over here, I have Lemurian quartz. And then this is a Lemurian quartz cluster, a pink and green cluster. And another heart that looks a lot like the ocean. It's some kind of agate, I don't know, a mystery stone, but it certainly has a place. When the grid says all the hearts, I listen and I get all the hearts. But what was interesting about that is that I put out all the hearts that I could remember. And then as I continued to build it, more hearts revealed themselves to me. So it's like there was a couple of waves of bringing in hearts into this grid. And so I pay attention to things like that because I feel there's synchronicity in listening to those subtle energy movements. So then there are some spirals coming out. So this spiral here is green aventurine, which I use a lot to represent heart chakra, heart healing. And this particular one points to a heart that is carnelian. And I was really specifically looking for a druzy heart with carnelian because that takes me back to Waimea Canyon and the power that I felt just in being in this canyon where the heart felt like it was cracked open. And then there is another spiral on this side. Let me get myself over here. That goes this way. And this spiral, same thing, green aventurine, but this ends up in a prehnite heart. And I use this heart oftentimes for healing the heart center, bringing in that heart healing. So the carnelian is more connected to the sacral or the womb space. And then the prehnite is connected more to the heart center. So let's see, there's clear quartz coming out of the four directions, essentially. And then there's rose quartz on the other side of those. So there's if you can see my finger, I'm trying to point to those. So that's the stones in the grid. And then I was called to get pictures. And these pictures are pretty dang significant. This particular picture is a dragon over Mount Shasta. And I purchased this in Mount Shasta. And it was a time where I was doing a vision quest and I was connecting with Lemurian energy and getting started in this crystal thing, like this adventure in crystals and using them. So there was confirmation there for me. This is Cathedral Rock in Sedona. So this is a very feminine vortex. And I've been connecting with that in Bell Rock recently, and it feels like the energy is kind of going in this circular motion, trying to, I'm moving my hand in a circle. It's like it's going out and coming back, going out and coming back. So it's like it's doing a circle of unity. It's working together, sort of a sensation. This particular picture are angels over Mount Shasta. I have worked with angels for many years, and so this was just, I had to have this picture because it just represented this beautiful angelic presence on this amazing mountain that just, it's very powerful. And a lot of people go there for pilgrimages. And this is a picture of lava from the Big Island, Mount Kilauea, shooting out lava, erupting, and it got captured in the shape of a heart. And so that particular trip was very important for me to connect with my own passion and fire. It was a very profound message of love your fire, and to be able to light that fire back up again within. And so those are the different locations that are represented. So those are some very, very Lemurian locations. And then it needed to have both oracle cards and candles. And the candles are sitting on top of heart-shaped pieces of paper representing the heart light. So there's heart light in 4 directions. And then there's a lot of oracle cards. And it was funny because a couple oracle cards came out, and then this whole giant pile of oracle cards came out. And I was like, this is too many oracle cards. And I got the no, it's not. And so just start placing them. And so I started placing them around, and sure enough, all of the cards had a place, and I had the perfect number of cards. And so the cards are from the Priestess of Light. And I was asking, what message does the Priestess of Light have in association with this grid? And so it started with the Divine Mother, bringing through the energy of the Divine Mother. Then we had Go with the Flow. And then the next card was Guide. And I was going with the flow of where to place it. And then I had the Divine Masculine over here. And then there's the Divine Feminine over here. That also came out, which was very interesting because they're both kind of on the same side of the grid, if you will, ish. And then there was clairvoyance, precognition. So this is all about initiating psychic abilities or having gifts come online, being able to tap in and tune into the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, which is what this skull represents, because I had a connection with Max. Max is an ancient skull that was used in the Mayan times, and it was a healing tool. And so crystals are also record keepers, and there's a lot of Lemurian stones that are here, but I also have programmed this little baby Max, if you will, because it doesn't really have a name, but I've programmed that to hold and unlock some ancient wisdom whenever it's ready to come through. So that is incredible, the cards that are coming out. And then there's this bright heart light card that came out, just really referring to the heart energy that's in this particular grid. And then so that's the inside layer, and then there's an outer layer that is innovation. So we are coming upon new times in, we're activating and anchoring in a higher level frequency, which means that we also have access to new ideas, new creations, new ways of doing things. So innovation is becoming really, really important to putting things in place that then replace the outdated or old earth frequencies. So innovation coming online strong here in this particular grid with the assistance of the dragon energy. And then we have soul radiance over here, and this is in line with a very Lemurian kind of energy. Soul radiance is about the phoenix rising. So this is coming through the awakening process, shedding what no longer serves us. Kind of when you think of the phoenix, it's like the fire is burning away what's no longer in service to ourselves, to the collective, whatever. And then what happens is you rise up out of the ashes, and that is a transformation then that's happening. So that card is pretty darn powerful. This one is talking about hostilities, and it's interesting because it's next to the heart that has not been broken free of, all the things that are kind of holding it and locking it in place. And it's in line with the Vogel, which is kind of a very precision-oriented tool, and this crystal, this skull crystal, which is carrying ancient wisdom. So we have to go through sometimes some conflict and unrest in order for that innovation on the other side to allow its creations to birth and come through. So we're going to have some inner conflict, we're going to have some outer conflict, right? That's just part of the process. And so this is highlighting that we have some things to go through in order for us to really rise up into this heart grid. And that's to be expected. And then over here we have idyllic times. And this is in connection with the angelic stone, the heart of, you can't really see the sheen in this heart until I come probably down like this, and then you can see the gold. So there is gold in our hearts. There's gold in this card. It's like creating, you know, using that innovation to create this new world, this new life, this new way of being. But we aren't doing that by ourselves. We're actually doing that with our angelic guidance and unconditional love that's flowing through. So there's this really beautiful connection also with this, it's a more feminine kind of an energy. We've been in a very masculine era, and the feminine energies are starting to wake up. They are rising up, they're speaking up, and they're taking a more prominent place in the world. So it's a beautiful connection to be bringing that feminine connection along with the divine masculine connection together in this grid. We're here to do this together. We're not here to do this separately. We all are rising up to this new frequency, to this new earth. We're planting seeds for the future. We are creating this I keep saying new world, and I guess that's the best way to put it. It is new because we're in a place where humans are innovating from their heart center. They're bringing in this compassion, this love energy, this frequency of freedom, this frequency of kind of otherworldly help, cosmic help, ancient civilizations bringing in the wisdom from those ancient civilizations. So all of that is here, it's present, it's represented in this grid, and it's just it just feels really, it's just like yummy. It just feels like and I just want to lay and bask in the energies for a little while. And so I invite you to do that as well. Just take some time and connect in with it and see what comes through for you. Have a lovely day, and thank you for spending a moment with me.